Before we get into all of that, it's time for this week's Joke of the Week.
But what do you get when you divide the circumference of a pumpkin by its diameter?
Celery?
A pumpkin pie.
Oh, pumpkin pie. Okay.
Pumpkin pie.
I thought there was some weird, catchy vegetable something.
I was trying to go with like a pumpkin-y, like fall.
Oh, now you made us all do math.
Joke. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Anyway, this week's garden joke is brought to you by Rescue.com. American-made rescue products keep your family, home, and yard protected from pests such as wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, flies, ants, and more. Learn more Rescue.com. That's RESCUE.com.
Well, we are going to talk about buying seeds and starting seeds. For many of you, you may already will be doing this before our show starts season 10, March, I believe it's March 7th of next year, the first weekend in March. So we're going to get a head start on this. Now, you can get all of your seeds currently, the current year, 2025, at jungseed.com, JUNGCEED.com, and you can use coupon code 15TG25 to save 15% on your order at jungseed.com. That coupon code is 15TG25. 15TG25 to save 15% on your order at jungseed.com. So come the new year, pay attention to our website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, because that coupon code will change, but we still want you to be able to have that availability to get good seeds at a reduced price.
So now, obviously, we mentioned junk seeds, but there's nothing wrong with shopping around. Just make sure that you are finding a reputable seed supplier. Sometimes you might search a product online and it takes you to a website that doesn't look the greatest. So
it's a shady website.
In some ways you can tell the shady website is it might say like 5-star reviews, but there's no reviews.
No, they're 5 stars, but they're all like copy pasted and like embedded into the thing. If it looks shady or rare, that type of thing, it is a non-reliable site.
Like rainbow roses, right? Purple strawberries, whatever.
So
neon green watermelons.
Not all sites are going to have all available seeds that you want. Jungs may not have everything you want, but it's a good starting point. Places, again, if you're going to buy outside of the Jung seed realm, like you said, reputable seed companies. And the best way to tell if they're reputable, if they've got a phone number, you call them up and somebody answers, and no disrespect to other nations, but it's an American talking to you in clean English.
Right. So also,
that's just the reality of it, because
also you want to make sure that you are looking at the price. So you might see a pack of seeds for 99 cents, but it's only like 10 seeds.
Right.
As opposed to maybe you go somewhere else and it's 100 seeds for $3. Now, you might not need 100 seeds, and that's okay too, but these seeds are usually good for a couple of years.
Yeah, so you keep them in a cool, dry place, like the crisper of the fridge, and like you said, a pack of tomatoes. Let's say you get 75 tomato seeds for $4.25.
Right.
Most people are going to plant 5 to 8 tomatoes out of that particular variety on an average year. Tomato seeds can stay viable for up to really 9 years if you take care of them. That's a longevity of seeds that you've invested. And in addition to saving the seeds from peppers or tomatoes from your garden.
Let's talk about that. Many people might still be saving seeds, so you can do that now. And also, when you start shopping for seeds, if you've already saved seeds, look to see what you have before you start buying seeds, because you could have a whole bunch of seeds and then you buy more seeds and you don't need those seeds. So for example, my dad gave me a whole bunch of poppy seeds. Not that I'm going to buy poppy seeds, but maybe I get a wild hair and I'm looking at seeds and I'm like, oh, I should buy some poppy seeds. I don't need to.
Yeah, and early in the season, whenever you get these seed catalogs from all of these companies, you get a little excited, and we all have the tendency of overbuying.
Right.
And you're all aware that $50 in today's money goes much different length in direction than 4 or 5 years ago in the seed realm itself.
And read the planting directions, because you might think, okay, I'm going to try this new thing this year. How hard could it be? I can just start it, whenever, blah, blah, blah. But there's certain seeds that you need to make sure you prep the soil. You started 10 weeks before, all this stuff. So make sure you have a plan, and you have, that if you have to start it 10 weeks before, that your seed starting area is going to be ready to go, and you have what you need.
Well, the seed starting area, let's talk about seed starting. You want good compost or good potting soil seed starting mix. All of those, we've used all of those. Those are all interchangeable. We've grown in 100% compost. We've grown in potting soil. We've grown in potting mix. The best thing in which you can use it, if you want it simplified, the most easiest. Number one, if you go to your independent garden center, go and find the store brand potting soil seed starting mix. At a local one in our area, the name brand stuff is $25 for like 4 cubic feet, something crazy like that.
But you want to make sure it's the potting soil.
Potting mix, yeah. It was like, no, it's 1 cubic. Was it 1 cubic foot? Yeah, so. Because it used to be 2 cubic foot, and now they went down to 1 cubic foot of potting soil. The store brand is like $9. The name brand is between $18 and $28. It's all the same stuff.
Right. So yeah,
and sometimes, Holly, we went out to the compost bin on the porch and scooped out a compost and planted directly in that.
Right. Okay. So, but I also, on the flip side of that, I want to remind you. You get what you pay for. So you may find a deal at your local grocery store or
don't do it.
Drugstore or whatever. Be very cautious about that. You might think, oh, this is such a great deal. It's $1 a bag. And then I got this coupon. And then you go to start your seeds and it's a sad situation.
If it's $1 a bag that you're paying for, they paid much less, and they're making probably 75 cents a bag on it.
And it's like probably 75% sand or something.
Well, that was what we had purchased. That one,
Yes. Another thing I want to talk about is the peat pots, the expandable peat pots, or the Jiffy Pops, whatever they call them. They're cute. They're fun. Kids like them, but they don't have any fertilizer in them. They literally just have peat moss.
Or cocoa coir.
Or cocoa coir. So you want to make sure after a couple weeks, you are fertilizing them with a liquid fertilizer. And then when you go to plant them, they say they're biodegradable, but you do need to remove that coating.
The netting. Whenever you decide to, and you can feed your plants just compost tea. Or if you're going to go the liquid fertilizer route, quarter strength of what the bottle actually says, because these plants are tender, you're going to burn them. If you just use compost tea, you can't overburn them because it's natural. So there's ways of making good, healthy compost tea in a very simplistic way that you can feed your plants, even your house plants. And then once the plants are in the ground, you can also do that as well.
So one thing I want to talk about for sure is where you're putting these seedlings. And
you mean your seed starting location and where they're going to live?
Or sorry, the seed starts.
Yeah. Where they're going to live in the home before you acclimate them to outdoors. That's what you're referring to.
Yes.
Okay.
So you may have a situation where you have a corner of your house dedicated to this, or some random areas by a window. You don't necessarily need a grow light. We started seeds for, a handful of years.
At least 10.
Without a grow light. And grow lights are nice. They're helpful, etc.
They make a difference.
Yeah. But if you have like a south-facing window or even a western-facing window, you can start seeds just fine in that area. You would need to rotate the seed trays so that you're not getting the legginess, which is when the seeds grow really tall and thin and spindly. Another thing to keep in mind is your ambient temperature. You will have problems like dampening off, or even the seeds not starting germinating because if it's too cold. So you want to make sure you're about 68 degrees or above in the ambient temperature.
If you do not have that availability, if you're in an unclimatized greenhouse, cold basement with the grow lights, this is when you're going to need a seed starting mat, not a heat mat that you would put on your sore shoulder, because those you can't regulate the temperature and they shut off after a certain amount of time. Or seed starting mats, they have a thermostat and a timer, and you can do everything precisely so you can do it correctly and get the seeds to germinate.
Right. So you want to keep this in mind, is that the seeds need hospitable conditions, I guess, if you want to say that. And that's very important.
So, seed starting, if you have questions, you can go to our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com. In the upper right box, the little magnifying glass, type in seed starting. You're going to have a gamut of different videos in which we have done over the last, 15 years,
yeah.
In order to help you get your seed starting off correctly. And a side note, you don't have to seed start. You can buy your starts, or you can plant them directly in the ground. And we've talked about that, and we'll cover that more in future episodes.
Absolutely. We're brought to you today by Walton's. We know you care about where your food comes from, canning, preserving, etc. At Walton's, they have everything to make seasoning supplies, to make sausage, jerky, and any other meat product your way to your high standards. They also have meat grinders, mixers, sausage stuffers, and more. And all the seasonings, you can go to waltonsinc.com and you can use code GROW50 to save 10% off your orders of $50 or more.